Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of my palette declutter. We're up to 32 palettes that I've decluttered thus far. I can't breathe because I had to move we did neutral and red. Okay, we're doing colorful neutral and pink in this video. So colorful neutral and pink, which I know is an oxymoron, but that's what we're doing. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. Make sure you're subscribed because there's going to be, how many do I have left? Probably one more part. I'm going to try and do one more part, and I may throw another color in with this video depending on length. And again, we're doing rapid fire. I'm not swatching anything. I'm going to hold it up, move along. Like, do I feel joy? Do I not feel joy? And then it's going. Again, the way I do my declutters, I have a basket over here that's almost full, so I may have to have a second basket, but it sits over there, hangs out for a period of time, and then it either moves on. Occasionally I pull past. But yeah, my battery died. Okay, so rapid fire, we're moving things along. So let's jump into the declutter. So we have a pile, and I feel like that's crooked. I don't know if that's crooked for you, but it's crooked for me. Okay, so here we go. Sea Talk palette with Lauren May and Odin's Eye. I've used this one a lot. It's actually my most used out of that set when they came out with those. The Street Taco palette. This sparks joy, but I honestly cannot remember the last time I used it. And now I have the Rick and Morty palette. So this is going to go in the declutter for now. This is one that could potentially get pulled back in, but for now, this one's going to get decluttered, I think. Graveyard Smash from Wicked Widow is going to stay. Lovesick could have gone in the pink pile. That's going to stay. The Riviera from ABH. This one does not necessarily spark joy when I look at it. Like, I am intrigued by the color story still, but I have other colorful palettes. So this, I think, is going to go in the declutter. Again, this is one that I could see theoretically being pulled back in if I change my mind, but for now, it's going away. The Zodiac palette. This is also one that I think I'm finally going to let go of. I did declutter Dream Street. Never really used this palette a whole lot aside from the Gemini shade, but this is old. I'm not inclined to reach for it. I think it needs to go. Foolish Mortals is going to stay. I'm not taking it out of the box. I apologize to you now. Misunderstood from ColourPop. This is one that I decluttered, bought it again when it came back. I'll keep it for now. I'm on the fence about this, so I'm going to set it up here. I'll continue to think on it. Vintage Dawn. I think I'm going to declutter from Ace Beauté. I like Ace Beauté's formula as a whole. Profusion. This is the Meadow palette. Similar color story to the Vintage Dawn. I feel like we got similar vibes here. So now I'm thinking, is the Profusion better than Ace Beauté? But I like Profusion's formula as a whole. So these are ones I'll put in this pile. We'll come back to. Vampirism. I don't love this formula from Jolie Beauty. It's a pretty color story. My husband bought this for me, so I'm inclined to keep it. It's one I've only used a couple of times, so I feel like I need to give it another shot. Jackie Aina. I do like. I accidentally stuck my fingernail in it, which is why this whatever that name is broken. But I do like this palette, so I think I'll keep that for now. Prism is going to go. It's on the edge of getting weird, so Prism unfortunately has to go. The Too Faced, this was their anniversary palette. I like this palette. I like this palette when it came out. That's not a popular opinion. I still like this palette. I do still reach for it. It's massive. It's obnoxiously massive. So that one still gets to stay. Solmon 2. Never used it. Can stay. Kaleidos. Boost Flower Punk. Can stay. Nomad. The New Zealand Stargazing palette. Like the color story on this, that can stay. I have used that. And then we have Lethal's. It's very similar color story. What is this? Midnight Serenade palette can stay. Glamlight, the Kiss palette. I heard that this wasn't great. You'll have to let me know. I watched Rachel Palermi. I don't think I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, but she didn't love the shimmers in this. So I haven't tried it personally, so you'll have to let me know, but I'm going to keep it for now. I like the color story on that. I have the Serenity palette from Cosmic Brushes. That one can stay. Nomad, Verona, Love and Death. That can stay. The Hella palette. Stain, So Fly from ColourPop. This is a pretty color story. This looks like some that I've decluttered already, so I'll keep this for now. I haven't used it. The Mauves from Profusion. This is a good mauve palette, so this one can stay. Huda Beauty Retrograde can stay. Huda Beauty Rose Gold. I don't love this palette. Other people do. I never have. I mean, it's fine. I don't know why I never fell in love with this palette. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just not, it's not one that I reach for. So I think I'm going to declutter this one again. This is one that I've saved before. This is the LA Girl Pro. This is a nice palette. I do like this palette. I used it once. I don't know if I need to keep this though. Okay, this I'm going to think about it. Because I have this Societe London one that's a very similar color story here. Because see, this is why I do them in color families, because I have that palette and that palette. This is a pinky. I consider this to be an all matte palette from Lime Crime. This one I think I'll keep. Like these look... One that I'm most drawn to in here is this one. Like, that's pretty. I have used this palette. Is that like prettier than this shade? I don't know. Like, this shouldn't be that difficult of a decision. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to keep this. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to keep both of these. I'm going to put this one in the declutter pile for now, and then I may bring it back. I'm thinking about it. Because like I said, I have used this palette and I liked it. Let me look at the mattes here, because that's, I'm kind of like, I'm hesitating, which leads me to think that I should probably just keep it or keep both of them for now. How do these feel? Is this one more pigmented? I think the Ciate one, and I've had these for a little while, so I'm going to put this one in the declutter for now. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, but we clearly have established that I have several palettes with the same color story. This is new from Lorella. I haven't used it yet. It's a pink palette. I have the Lotus from Be Bella. I like their formula. This is pretty. Haven't used it. Naked Cherry, I think I'm going to let go of too. I just don't reach for it. Nothing wrong with it. This was one of my favorite palettes for a long time. And again, it's got a lot of those similar mauve tones in it. Very modern Renaissance vibes. Probably don't need to keep modern Renaissance because I have this palette, but here we are. This is another Too Faced holiday palette that I actually think was decent. See, this is an unearthly palette that I never fell in love with. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and I can't put... This actually kind of looks very similar to the color story in here. Again, but the shimmers in here, I will say, are prettier than what's going on in the LA. So maybe I was going to declutter this because I was thinking in my head, I may let this one go just because it's got, you know, the khaki shade. So I may hold on to this one and see if I can get some use out of it. But I was intending on decluttering that, so I feel better about that decision. One that I do really like from Unearthly is this Sleepover palette, so we'll keep that. think I'm gonna let go of this Tarte one. Again, it's just a mauve palette. I don't reach for it. The Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. It's getting old. I am gonna keep the Sugar Drizzle little Plumera Dragon palette. Like deeper vibes. We've got the Norvina. This one I still think is really pretty. I'm gonna think about that. Corda Rosa, I'm gonna keep, and then I'm gonna let go of the Champagne Rose. And I feel like it's very similar color story. I've never reached for that Makeup Geek one, and I need to get some use out of my Sigma. Exotic Peacock can stay. I've never used it. The Creeps and Crawls from Glamlight can stay. Strawberry Shortcake can stay. Warriors Wear Pink. Like this palette a lot. This can stay. We have the Lolita. It's all matte. My mirror broke. I actually have tape over it so the glass doesn't fall out. Couldn't tell you the last time that I reached for this, so I'm actually going to put this. Shocks me a little bit, but I'm thinking I'm going to put this in the declutter. And then I don't know why I'm thinking about this. Again, it's got, I think since I'm on the fence about this one, I'm just going to keep it. Let's see. Let's make a decision here. I've never used either one of these palettes. The mattes seem fine, but I'm sure the mattes, oh yeah, we'll keep the Vintage Dawn and we'll get rid of the Meadows palette. Again, this is one that I've decluttered and I brought back in because it's Profusion, but I am keeping the Mauve palette. And then Misunderstood. I think I keep this for the packaging. I couldn't tell you the last time that I used it, but because I had regrets the last time that I decluttered it, I'm inclined to keep it, so that one can stay for now. The only one that I'm thinking that I don't need to keep is Norvina, only because I have the Lethal and the Nomad palette that are very similar color stories to this. So this I think I might actually put in the declutter. And then if I change my mind, I can bring it back. Like I said, and I'm surprised at myself that I've actually decluttered 3 of these this time. So that is a big deal, and I've got like eyeshadow stained all over me. Okay, and we have another, like the Jeffree Star palettes I keep. I do still like them, but I find that I end up reaching for them for comparisons for videos occasionally, so we'll keep that one. I do still like this Astral Pink from Kaleidos, the Sweetest Pinks by Juvia's Place. I've used this once. I think I'm going to put this in the declutter. I have other pinks. Strawberries and Dreams from Lunar Beauty can stay. Nightshade is very purpley. That can stay. Sweetheart from Lorella. I really like this palette. This one can stay. This also kind of reminds me of some of the shades out of the Norvina. Berries. Lots of pink. That can stay. So Groovy from Lorella. Really pretty pink and orange. That can stay. Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. This one can stay. This Scarlet Dusk palette, though, I think I'm going to let go. That one's just kind of blah to me, so I think I'll let that one go. Berries and Cream. I've tried to use this a couple of times, and I know this is getting old. I'm just not inclined to reach for this. Like, this doesn't spark joy when I look at it currently, so I think I'm going to let that go. Got Mystic Romance, which, again, looks to me like a prettier version of the Rose Gold Remastered, so I'm going to keep this one. The Dangerous Love. It took 4 tries for them to get this to me without it coming smashed. It's just a light pink, neutrally color story, but it's got Batman and Catwoman on it. I keep it for the packaging, but yeah, had to ship me 4 palettes before I got one that wasn't smashed to pieces. ABH Norvina. This is the pink one. And then I also have volume 1. A little more purpley. So, okay. So out of that batch, I decluttered 15. So that brings us up to 47 because we had 32 and 15 is now 47. So that's actually a lot. That's very impressive. At the rate I'm going, we may get it to 100. I don't think I'm going to declutter that many, but that's impressive. I am happy with that number. The only palette that I'm still like, I think I might put this in the declutter, and then if I change my mind, I've had this palette for a couple of years and I've never used it. So we're up to 48. So 16. I think I can let that go comfortably. So like I said, I will give myself time if I want to bring it back. But yeah, I think we'll stop it there, and then there will be one more part after this.